Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy Monster Cast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy Monster Cast, the heroes of SET Alpha 1-2 return to Castle Refuge and then head north to the Coalition, where they meet a strange new friend.
Hi, my name is Ron. I'll be playing Philip Marlowe, the robot pilot Ace.
My name is Brendan. I will be playing Leviticus Overton, a quick flex glitter boy.
Hi, my name is Frankie. I'm playing Kuva, a Simvin Burster.
Hi, my name is Jong Soo, and I will be playing an elf cyber knight named Mingbi.
Hi, my name is Frank, and I'm playing Click, a Troubadour Techno Wizard.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bob, and I'm playing Quinlan, who's an elven leyline walker.
Previously on the Happy Monster Cast. So you were sent on two missions from Castle Refuge. One was to locate the Seal of Solomon, which you found and then lost, and the other was to investigate these strange appearances like Hamilton the Toaster Bot. And this ship that you found clearly falls into that second category. You're about a day into the travel. You're getting ready to set up camp for the night. And as you're moving along, you believe pretty much in the same path that you were headed before. And knowing the ship's really big, it's not going to be that hard to spot. You see a tower just to the right of your path.
Tower.
Yes. You don't see anything. You see through the window what appears to be a chamber of some kind. There's some furniture in there, but you don't see any people.
Oh.
I think we should storm the castle.
No.
As you're observing this thing through your goggles, which also do detect arcana, you note an arcane signature coming from inside the tower.
Oh, God.
You also note that the tower seems to be resonating in a similar way to Hamilton and the ship.
That settles it. We have to storm the castle.
Let's put some wings on Fluffy and see if he can.
This is so weird.
Fly him up and into the window.
I like this idea.
And why would we want to fly Fluffy into the tower?
Because then it's somebody inside the room that's not us.
You then hear from the tower, "All right, Gozel, nice trick with the cat.
Ozel. Okay.
Now you're gonna let me out of here or what?"
Yeah.
We got you covered.
So who are you?
Wait, you're a cyber knight.
That's correct.
You a cyber
And
knight?
who are you?
My name's Zell.
Well, is this where your tower used to be? Because it seems like your tower, from our perspective, just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. I've been here all along. You guys must not have been paying attention.
Oh, come on. You can come with us.
I'm happy to come along. Let's do this thing.
Fine. You may join us.
You have
May
acquired
accompany
Zell
us.
as a new party member. Throw her out here. So the following day, you arrive at the ship, and it's still where it was. Click
Like, no.
slaps his goggles on, takes a very careful look, and it's similar energy, but it is not identical.
So if we're operating under the theory that these objects and people and sort of techno creations are coming from some parallel dimension or parallel Earth, then they might be coming from different parallel Earths.
Looks like whatever's on her is more complicated,
Utilitarian.
I guess.
Where are you headed next?
Would be able to shed light on our mystery.
Is there anything of value on the ship?
Well, there's a lot of very smart people at Castle Refuge.
Such shallow concerns.
So you guys are going to head back to Castle Refuge, and that is where we will pick up at Castle Refuge next week. Let us recap. You have been on a mission to do two things. One is to determine the origin of these mysterious beings that seem to be appearing out of nowhere and have the strange magical resonance. You first encountered Hamilton the Toaster Bot, then you encountered the enormous blue shiny ship that apparently crashed from space, and most recently you encountered this woman Zell in a tower, and she is now accompanying you back to Castle Refuge. The other half of your mission was to locate the Seal of Solomon, which was in something called the Southeast Fortress, controlled by the Federation of Magic. You found it. It blasted its way out of the fortress and headed off in the direction of the coalition states. And that's the last you heard of it. So you've decided to head back to the castle and determine what information they might have, including seeing what they can deduce from having Zell and Hamilton available to them for analysis, along with whatever pirates made their way back in the skyboat to Castle Refuge after your visit to Mercatown. You're able to cross the Mississippi without any serious incident, and you make your way back to the castle without any real trouble. You're a pretty formidable group now between the Gunwolf and the Big Boss and the Glitter Boy, not to mention the guy riding the Griffin. And so you arrive back at the castle, and you're called in to Ella Vowels, the top chief of the expeditionary forces like yours, for a debrief. So, did you retrieve the seal?
No, we did not retrieve the seal. We saw it, and we tried to take it, but there was powerful magic surrounding it, and it eluded us.
Explain.
Describe how it shot up into the air.
Interesting. You said it appeared as sort of a gold streak?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Just a moment. And she touches a control on her desk and says, please see if Major Duchesne is available.
Did she call him?
Major Duchesne.
Okay.
What of these strange appearances? What were you able to discover there?
Okay, what have we reported about the ship which we collected these the ship that was destroyed with the pirates?
You haven't been back to the castle since you found the ship and Zell, so this is all new to her.
Okay.
So we kind of report everything. I mean, basically, once these people appeared, they just seemed like regular people. I mean, aside from the fact that with pirates and unfamiliar weapons and things, I mean, they weren't like behaving strangely or anything. They were just sort of there. And they didn't see anything strange about themselves having appeared there.
And you're quite certain they didn't come through Rift?
He didn't seem to think that they did.
Yeah, I mean, there was no big Rift activity nearby.
And this woman, Zell, who accompanied you back, she claims to have been part of City of Dwemer, a resident there?
That's what you said.
Interesting. I'm going to ask Counselor Stargazer, our magic expert, to evaluate these people and see what she can discover.
We also have a couple of small robots, which may or may not have come from the same place. And we thought it would be useful to, do the analysis on them. If they came from the same place, then they may have come by the same means. And if they're coming from a different place, then that complicates things.
Okay. I shall discuss this with Counselor Stargazer. In the meantime, Major Duchesne. So, Tomorrow Legion Major enters. He's a human. He seems to be packing some techno-wizard gadgetry, but may or may not be a techno-wizard. Says, Top Chief, what can I do for you? I believe I heard something in the intelligence briefings from the Coalition about a mysterious phenomenon in the Chi-Town Burg. Some sort of an atmospheric object, like a streak of gold. Right. Let me check on that. He flips open a notebook from his back pocket. Yes, I recall that. Unexplained phenomenon. One of our agents in Chi-Town initially reported it. We have confirmation from 3 separate sources, so I would consider it confirmed. Occurred, 10 days ago. And you know that 10 days ago was precisely when you were in the process of attacking the Southeast Fortress.
Right. So if it happened 12 days ago, then we know that this thing just flew straight to Chicago, or Chi-Town.
Well, over Chi-Town.
Over, yeah.
It flew over the burg, correct? Yes, we don't know the final destination, but it was spotted flying over the burbs towards the arcology of Chi-Town itself. Of course, there's nothing to say it might have not proceeded further north or northwest from there. Nevertheless, I believe this is a lead worth following. Let us have a day to determine what we can from these strange appearing creatures and people, and then I would like your team, since you're familiar with it, to follow up in the Coalition. This will be a dangerous mission. We'll have further briefing and resources for you once we've settled on the details. So she dismisses you. You can now collect your pay, which is modest for most of you, except for Philip, because he, as a mercenary Gunwolf pilot, he collects a rather substantial amount of pay. So he picks up 50,000 credit, whereas the rest of you simply have about 1,000 in your account. But you have the chance to rest, resupply a little bit, make sure all your stores are replenished up. And you also have a chance, if you wish, to ask around about Tomorrow Legion operations in the Coalition.
Let's do that. Let's ask about that fort that I think I'd like to go back and try to retrieve the Seal of Solomon.
You're going to ask about the Southeast Fortress?
Yes.
Okay, so that's Federation of Magic territory.
Right.
It was established as kind of a forward base for the Federation at the outskirts of their borders. You know that Lord Dunscan, the leader of the Federation, is ambitious for adding to his territory and increasing his power. And so the general consensus with the Legion is that that particular fortress was a way of pushing his boundaries further towards the Legion and the Mississippi, and perhaps as a bastion against any potential moves from the Southern coalition states in his direction. The coalition states and the Federation of Magic do not get along at all. The coalition is violently anti-magic, anti-DB, and human supremacist, whereas the Federation of Magic is pretty much a hierarchy of the most powerful mages scheming to gain control over as many resources as possible by whatever means necessary. So neither of these guys are really great. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You also hear that there's some particular bad blood between Emperor Prosek, the leader of the coalition, and Dunscan, because Dunscan kidnapped Prosek's family several years ago during the Tolkien campaign. Fortunately, they were rescued by Cyber Knights, which is why Cyber Knights are among the people who are more respected in the coalition as compared to most other types. DBs are definitely not friendly. Any magic user is right out. Powerful psionics like bursters and mind melters, they look very badly on. And they're not that fond of Gooder Boys either, because the Gooder Boy legions of Free Quebec were also involved in a war with the coalition during the siege of Tolkien.
Well, that's just rewriting history.
So of all of you, really only Philip and maybe Lady Nimby would be completely welcome there. Most of you can pass for human except for Kuba and Click. Kuba and Click would both have to take some measures to stay out of sight or disguise themselves if they were going to be moving around in coalition territory. Zell would be fine if she chooses to accompany. So the next day, you're called into a council of mages led by Serena Stargazer, who is one of the counselors of the Council of Hope, which is the governing body for the Tomorrow Legion, as well as the Castle Refuge in the area surrounding it. She's not an elf, but she has kind of a fae-like appearance. She's a DD of a type none of you have seen before. And she says, "We have analyzed these beings who have come into existence, and it seems that each group of them has come from a different world or different plane. They all resonate with a slightly different energy. We have also determined that there seems to be some attraction between them, because yet another of these beings has appeared at Castle Refuge, seemingly drawn here by the concentration of Zell, Hamilton, and the people from the ship, from the stars. This new being is some sort of Yama. We're quite confused by him. He seems quite confused himself. He seems to think that he is a ruler of some kind, perhaps from South America. But we have him in isolation until we can gain some more knowledge of his condition."
Did you just say Llama?
Yes.
Okay. I thought
Okay.
That's awesome.
llama like the animal or llama like Dalai Lama?
Yama, like the pack animal.
Okay. Just checking.
Is this guy an emperor and he needs to get his groove back?
Pardon me?
Nothing. Never mind. Nothing.
So she says, "I suggest that you have this young woman Zell accompany you in our mission to see if others of these beings are drawn to you. Perhaps we can learn more by greater exposure to beings from more of the planes, or if we are greatly fortunate, perhaps some from the same plane may encounter you, and we can gain further knowledge in this way."
Hamilton, our Hamilton bot said that he had a couple of companion robots that were out there and that were captured. Have we located them?
No, I fear that they may have fallen into the hands of the Federation, and I am greatly concerned about what information the Federation might gain from studying them.
So, if I remember correctly, they were Dyson and Moto.
Yes, let me consult my notes. Yes, Moto and Dyson.
Okay, so, all right. So some of the other people were drawn to the visitors that we have here, kind of drawn by their vibration. Can we figure out how they were drawn and then use that to kind of reverse engineer that as a homing system to detect other people elsewhere?
This is an interesting idea. My team will look into it. In the meantime, we have dispatched a regular Army Legion force as a strike team to destroy the remains of the ship, thus denying the Federation access to the ruins and the additional information that I gain from them. Do you have any objection to the woman Zell accompanying you? It seems she has skills that might be useful in the burbs.
Oh, I'm all for for it.
Very well.
What skills are they? And I think she also seemed to have a magical signature. Is that magical signature related to any or all of the various vehicles, people, and robots that have appeared from elsewhere, but not through a rift?
No, her signature is unique. The only group signature that we have encountered thus far are the travelers from the ship and their equipment. They all seem to resonate with the same frequency.
Hamilton is unique and separate from these. Okay.
Yes, although I hypothesized that Moto and Dyson would resonate with a similar frequency were we able to retrieve them.
Okay.
It is also curious that this Zell has a history here on RIFTS Earth, which is different than the other ones, including the Weriana. It seems as though there is some evolution in the process of these beings appearing, which I will be curious to observe as we gain more data. Okay, so Ella Vowels calls you back in and says, we've established a plan for you to reach Chi-Town safely, or as safely as we can arrange. We have contacts in the outskirts of the burbs, in a farm town, only a few miles outside of the security boundary. There's sufficient storage there for you to store your heavy vehicles there and proceed on foot into the city. From there, you'll need to take what measures you can to disguise yourselves, but the burbs do have a significant number of DBs in place. So you will probably be safe unless you have to penetrate the arcology. If, in fact, your path takes you there, things will become considerably more dangerous, and you may wish to leave the more obvious DBs in your party behind. The arcology itself is closed to any but pure humans, and the occasional highly favored Psystalker. We can provide resources for you to travel north. Once you reach the farmlands, you must be cautious of coalition patrols. I recommend that you do not engage if at all possible. We have a certain amount of intelligence about the patrol maps we can give you in order to facilitate your journey. Do you have any questions about your mission? We can provide the complete briefing papers, and we would hope that you would have the woman Zell accompany you. As a city rat from Dwemer, she has considerable skills at maneuvering in an urban environment that may be of use to you.
Sounds good. She's got to do something about that ad.
Is there anything you guys would like to do before you roll out north?
I assume we'll have plenty of time to refill ammo cans and replenish supplies and all that. Are there any upgrades that we can get for armor or weaponry?
Yeah, that's the same question.
So since you're going on a fairly sensitive mission, the Legion is willing to allow for some equipment improvements for you, within limits.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the march. You don't have to cross the Mississippi this time. You're headed towards Chi-Town. Chi-Town is not located precisely in the location of the former city of Chicago. It is, in fact, somewhat inland from there. Chicago itself has some very nasty rifts in it, and so the coalition has it quarantined off. It's not as dangerous as the Hellgate that is the Gateway Arch in former St. Louis, which is walled off and guarded by heavy mechs, but it's still pretty dangerous. So Chi-Town is some distance away.
Peoria.
I assume that you are going to follow your usual process with the Gunwolf and Leviticus marching, the big boss driving, and Kuva and Griff airborne.
How does the coalition feel about that? About animal powered flight as opposed to mech flight? They're
not thrilled because those animals tend to be from other dimensions rather than native Earth beasts, and they certainly are not big fans of Simban monster riders.
Yeah. I'm going to definitely need a mask of some sort as soon as we get a chance to get one.
They're pretty much everything terrestrial over anything non-terrestrial.
Exactly. They view themselves as the inheritors of Earth from the former North American Alliance, and their long-term goal is to push any non-Earth forces out of the continent.
So I think as we're going along, it might be a good idea for us to, to disguise or minimize to the greatest extent we need to, possible or that we need to, any of the occult or mystic or other magic-based attributes that any of might be going along with. Is there anything overt that we need to worry about?
Yeah, you absolutely need to worry about that. With that said, the burbs do have DBs in them. They're third-class citizens, if anything, but they are there, so you won't be completely out of place.
You always get disguises when we get to the burbs.
So basically you're moving north, and whenever you camp, the more technically minded among you can work on disguising your hardware to make it easier.
I don't need to do anything with the Glitter Boy armor, do I?
No, the Glitter Boy armor is okay. Glitter Boys are not in as bad odor as everybody else. The Glitter Boys were known to be part of the Earth Defense Forces in the early days after the rifts opened. But the Glitter Boy legions of Free Quebec were also involved in a war with the Coalition at the same time as the Siege of Tolkien. That war seems to have ended amicably, but...
Okay.
Yeah. But maybe some lingering bad blood.
Yeah, there may be Dead Boy veterans of that war who would be a little bit more concerned if they saw a Glitter Boy coming their way.
They probably would not be too thrilled to know that there's a quick flex inside this armor instead of a human.
Even more so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
As a quick flex, you can relatively easily pass for human, same as the elves can. Harder for Kuva and much harder for Click.
Okay, now I thought that Cyber Knights were fine.
Cyber Knights are fine.
Okay.
Non-human Cyber Knights are somewhat less fine, but keeping your armor on, you can pass without too much trouble. All right, so 2 days into your journey north, as you're rolling along in the mid-morning, you hear what sounds like a disturbance maybe a mile ahead.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to make sure that Griff isn't flying. We'll park one of the vehicles, maybe the Gunwolf, and I'll just pretend like he's my pet.
Okay.
What's the terrain like here?
Flatter than the terrain that you were in in the Federation of Magic. It's still somewhat hilly and definitely wooded.
Okay, so a mile out, I'm just wondering, do we still have that drone that we built?
You mean the flying cat?
Yeah.
The flying cyborg cat is available.
I'm just thinking if we can send it up for a little drone reconnaissance. If the thing's only a mile away, we can zip it forward and then zip it back.
Yep. You deploy Fluffy with her wings, and she zips forward. And as you're watching the camera feed from Fluffy on your various screens, you see a fight. And what you see are 8 creatures that you can identify from your experience as Broadkill, the cyborg demons, that are shooting what appears to be a recently landed or possibly crashed skyboat.
Demons are bad news.
And since it's a skyboat, it's definitely not Coalition, because that skyboats are magic.
Well, I think we should come to the rescue of the skyboat people.
Yeah, let's
I agree.
go help them. So far,
All right,
we've been lucky.
But aliens.
Oh, shut up.
Just kidding.
Zell notice anything?
In terms of what?
I mean, I guess these skyboats are coming through, and the idea is that
she's looking at it and she says, that looks like a Federation of Magic skyboat to me.
Well, we definitely want to rescue them then.
All right, so how are you going to move in?
What did you say? We're a mile away?
About that, yeah. So you can be there pretty quickly if you're in the vehicles.
Yeah, and we should be able to be there. 2 minutes. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'll get back on Griff and fly in with him.
Okay, so you're airborne. So Griff, the big boss, Gunwolf, and Leviticus are moving in. Great. Okay, so you're not going to be stealthy. And with Fluffy still deployed, you can see that 6 of the Broadkill are redeploying in cover to meet whatever's coming, which is, you guys are pretty loud. And the other 2 are continuing to shoot up the skyboat.
Okay, with Fluffy in the air, can I get a read on exactly where they are? Because I might be able to drop an artillery burst right on top.
With Fluffy in the air, you can, and with your sensor systems, you can get a pretty good read on them. You're not going to be able to hit more than 2 at a time with a grenade, though, just because of the nature of the way they're deployed in cover.
Okay. What about with the boom gun? That's what I was thinking.
The boom gun is no longer an area effect thing, thanks to the Savage Worlds update.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll enter combat when we enter combat.
Okay. If you're running up, I'll give you 1 free shot at the Broadkill before you arrive.
All right. That sounds good.
All right. So go ahead and take your shot.
Do I remember, or do I need armor piercing on these guys?
So
Would I remember that?
Make a common knowledge roll.
Well, I'm not going to waste a penny on it. I will go for a augmentation grenade.
Okay, that definitely hits. Okay, so you lob this grenade in with Fluffy watching your landing site, and you drop it beautifully. It's right behind one of the guys who's in cover and close enough to hit the other one as well. And the fragments just ricochet off these guys' bodies.
Oh, damn it. All right, well.
And you're going to roll on in, and we will be in combat.
Okay.
How much damage is that skyboat taking?
It's pretty much riddled with holes, so the boat itself is toast. Whether or not there's anybody alive in it is a whole nother question.
Oh, we got to try. Let's go get him.
Okay, so, and Kuva draws a joker right out of the gate.
Ooh, fantastic.
Cool.
Okay.
So,
Well, first off, that means everybody gets another penny.
Nice.
awesome. my last edge or my last advancement, didn't I get something that modified my spells somewhat? Can't quite remember.
Let's see.
Thought it made like all my spells area of effect if I wanted to. I think that was something along those lines.
Well, you can do that anyway with power modifiers.
Okay. All right.
Your last advance, you upgraded your regular flame bolt to an area effect flame blast. So it's just your primary attack, but you can do that.
Okay. It's fine. I'll just target one of them and flame bolt him. How do I make it have mega damage? Do I have to do something else first?
You need to spend an inner strength point to do that, or two. Let me see.
Right. Fiery aura, is that it? To make aura and damage mega?
That's for your flame aura. Okay. So that would be mega damage for that. For your flame bolt, it's already mega damage. You don't need to spend anything on it. You can spend ISP to make it armor piercing, however.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that in case these things have armor.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna Benny that. Can I Benny that, or is it?
You absolutely can Benny that.
Okay.
Even with the Joker, that's gonna miss.
Oh,
that on the other hand, hits with a raise, despite the guy being in cover.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, so that is going to be a total of.
And you said a raise too, right?
Yeah, so you get the bonus damage on that.
Nice.
So that is 17 plus 2, 19 damage at armor piercing 4. So you zoom in and you get a full power flame bolt on this guy just as he pops his head up out of cover, and you basically fry his head. So he goes down.
Oh, how kind.
Okay, Lady Mimby, you are currently in the big boss, which is closing in on these guys. What would you like to do? You can hold action if you'd like to wait till it's closed.
What's the range of my sniper laser rifle? Like, am I close enough?
I will say that you're at medium range for that right now. So you'd be at minus 4 total between the medium range and the cover.
Is one a more clear leader type target than another?
There is not an obvious leader at this point.
I'm going to just shoot at the one that I think I'm going to have the best chance to hit.
Okay, fire away. That will miss.
You know what? I'm going to Benny that. Oh, God, never mind. I'm going to miss.
That will also miss.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the broad kill. 2 of them continue to shoot up the skyboat. And the other 5, 2 of them are going to shoot at Kuva as he's flying around. So they raise rifles to their shoulder. They all miss.
I like these rolls.
Nice.
A couple of them shoot at the Gooder Boy. And miss.
With that.
Sweet.
And the last guy does something, but you can't tell what.
And I hate that.
Okay, Click is rolling up with the big boss, and he is going to attempt to not only roll up, but also blast these guys with the lightning cannon on the big boss.
And
but he misses. Okay, Leviticus.
All right. Am I close enough? Can I close for a melee with the Vibrosword?
I will say yes. If you sprint ahead, you can close for a melee with the Vibrosword.
Okay. My Vibrosword and my Vibro Cutlass allow me to use 2-fisted attack.
You have 2-fisted, or correct, as an edge.
Right.
Now you're ambidextrous and 2-fisted, so yes, you could do that.
Okay. Nice. I think that I will. So let me give you the fight. So the first attack will be the fighting. I'll just roll fighting for the Vibrosword. Okay. That's the Vibrosword. And here comes the Vibro Cutlass. You know what? I'm gonna. Can I Benny those separately? Can I do one Benny for the Vibro Cutlass?
Yes, you can.
All right. I will do so.
Vibrosword will hit.
That's better.
That one will hit with a raise.
Ooh. All right.
So the Vibro Sword, he deflects with an armored cyborg arm, and it doesn't do any damage.
Jerk.
Jerk.
The Vibro Cutlass, on the other hand, does manage to shake him.
Okay.
So he's, between the 2 attacks, he's a little bit off balance now.
I was hoping that would be more impressive, but okay. I'm committed to this.
All right. So the Gunwolf rolls up and unleashes a blast from the anti-personnel laser and manages to knock one of the other guys backwards. And that brings us to Quinlan. You are still in the big boss at this point. which is now pretty close to these guys.
If I step out of it, am I going to be in range to havoc anyone?
You absolutely could havoc the two guys above the one who got killed.
Yeah, I want to cone of shame those mother.
Cone of shame. Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, I'd like to push it up by 2 power points as well. One for the LBT and one for the 3d6 knockback.
Okay. All right, that spell comes off. Okay, so they are both distracted by this blast of confusion that you threw at them, and they're going to need strength rolls to avoid being blasted backwards out of cover.
Oh, right, because of the knockback, right?
Right. Both of which they make. They're pretty strong.
Too bad.
Fair enough.
Okay, new round. Kuba, you're up first again.
All right, I'm gonna flame bolt another guy, whichever one I can see clearly, or as clear as possible.
Okay, you want to go for one of the shaken ones?
Yeah,
Nice.
I was gonna go for the one all the way at the top, whichever that one is.
Okay, yeah, that he's definitely hit.
Bad. So what if paid the points for armor piercing?
Yeah, that's enough to take him out. He's kind of knocked back from cover, and you just swoop in and blast.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, so that brings us to the broad kill, which they're now a little concerned. So two of the guys.
What, they thought we were joking?
The other two guys actually move away from the skyboat, and they're going to come up into the fight here.
They may
Right.
be demons, but they're not stupid.
Just chaotic.
Yeah.
All right, so one of them, pathetic. One of them is waving something in your direction, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything of significance.
Is it a white flag?
He's holding a bullseye.
Okay, so Leviticus.
Yes. Am I up?
I would like a spirit roll, please.
Not hell. All right. Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, you suddenly feel like your glitter boy has suddenly become enormously large all around you. Like it's so big that you drop down into the foot.
Like he's shrinking?
Well, none of the rest of you see any change in the size of the glitter boy, so shrinking is a pretty good hypothesis.
Okay. So, like within the armor, I have. Okay. Can I communicate this to anybody? I scream out, "Help me! Help me!"
When you scream out, "Help me! Help me!" what comes out is squeaks.
Uh-oh.
Oh, son of a gun! Did they
Okay,
like
take
turn
a
me
look
into
at
a mouse or
yourself.
something?
They appear to have turned you into a rat.
Bastards!
So that's a little bit bigger. That's a start.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Not sure if I can do anything about that. I'm not real great at magic.
Okay, Griff is hit by one of these guys.
I just got him armor. Hopefully to help.
So the laser punches in, and with his armor, it just avoids damage. Very close.
All right, we're landing, boy.
Okay, however, the next guy hits you.
It's you.
This is me.
This me. Got it.
Oh, ouch.
Oh,
Ooh.
For 18.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, that is enough to shake you and cause 2 wounds, which I'm presuming you'd like to try to soak.
yes, absolutely.
Good enough. That'll soak both wounds.
Cool.
Okay. This guy did not unshake. So the guy who was fighting the glitter boy is still shaken. 2 other guys are firing at the gun wolf. One of the distracted guys hits, the other one misses, and one of them hits the big boss. That's not going to be enough to do anything to the gun wolf or the big boss.
Hey.
Cool.
Okay, so that is all of them. Lady Mimby, you're up.
Okay, the guy that was waving something.
Yes.
Can I run and attack him, or do I need to? Or is he out of range and I need to shoot him?
No, you could run up and attack him. You guys are pretty close now.
Excellent. So I am going to take my size sword. Ooh, no, let's do the flaming sword.
You can do both.
Do that.
You have that particular skill set. The first one hits, kind of rolls with that one. Okay,
Really?
and the flaming sword.
Okay.
That will hit with a raise.
Okay. Enough.
Yeah, you lop his head off.
Nice.
Excellent. Well played.
Sweet.
And the small talisman that appears to be something like a rabbit's foot falls to the ground.
Picking it up. Oh my.
Okay, Gunwolf is going to go up to the 2 that you hit with Havoc, and it raises up its head, and fire comes blasting out of it. They are immune to it.
Oh, because they're demons.
Yep. So the fire does nothing. Okay, Leviticus, you are now a rat. What would you like to do?
So I'm still a rat, even though Lady Mimby killed the one that had the magic talisman?
That is correct.
Oh.
We could've
How
asked
are we
him.
going to get you back?
So as a rat, I feel that I have kind of limited options. Except that my Glitter Boy armor is psionically controlled by me, right? I mean, I'm not in here pushing buttons. It's connected to my mind.
No, your Glitter Boy is actually, you are actually pushing buttons and driving things. It is not a psionic connection.
Shoot. Too bad.
You just sit there in the bottom of your shoe.
Well, I mean, can I do anything?
It's an interesting question. They are physical controls.
All right. With my physical controls.
So here's what I would allow you to do. You can scamper up and attempt to use the controls at -3 to do one thing. You can't move, but I would allow you to. I would allow you to shoot.
All right. Then I will. Okay. Then I will shoot, and I will use the grenade launcher. And I will drop an armor piercing round right there. Now, once again,
that's good enough.
Is it?
Which guy were you aiming for?
As a grenade, am I going to get an area on this?
It's not a large enough burst to hit more than one.
Okay, then I will tag this guy.
All right, grenade hits him square in the chest and blows him to bits.
Thank you very much. Rat power in the house.
Ratatouille.
Okay, Zell pops out, snaps off a shot with her laser rifle, but doesn't really get anywhere. Quinlan.
All right, I'd like to see if I can bolt that one.
Yeah, fire at will. That will miss since he's in cover.
Can I Benny that?
Yes, you can. That will hit.
Cool.
However, it ricochets off his cyborg armor and does no harm.
Oh.
Okay, Click is going to take another stab at the lightning cannon. And that's definitely going to hit. So a lance of lightning erupts out of the big boss at one of these guys.
Wow.
And just vaporizes him.
Wow. Holy smack.
That is fine.
Okay. And a woman comes out from behind the skyboat and runs up to one of these guys and attacks him.
She look like she can fight?
With a sword. She's reasonably good, but he's able to deflect the attack.
That happens to the best of us.
Yep. All right. New round. And she comes up first, so she's going to take another swing at him. She's going to use a wild attack and completely fail.
Okay.
So much for the wild attack. Quinlan, you're up.
All right, let's throw another bolt.
All right.
Money.
Hits with a raise, but still not enough to do any serious damage to him. All right. Gunwolf's going to drop in another anti-personnel laser shot. And he is going to critically fail. So the anti-personnel laser is busted.
Oh.
Okay, Kuva, you're up.
All right. I'm going to land semi-close wherever there's cover, then get off grip. Try to sling a fireball at someone if I can see them.
Okay. The shaken guy's a good target. You absolutely can sling a firebolt at him.
Okay. Again, armor piercing 4.
Yep.
Oh, that's bad.
That will miss with the cover that he's got.
I'm going to let it be.
Okay. Click's going to drop in another shot with the lightning cannon, which will hit. Another lance of lightning comes blasting out from this thing.
Nice.
And that is enough to take out another one of these guys.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, Lady Mimby, you're up.
Guy who's shaken, he's still standing because it didn't go so well.
Yes.
All right. Let's try the Psy Sword, Flaming Sword attack.
Well, you've got one in each hand, so you might as well attack with both. That one's going to hit with a raise.
All right.
That is terrible.
Boy.
However, with the armor piercing 6 and the raise, that still is enough. You slash through him and he drops.
Really?
Yep.
Is it enough that I can take my Flaming Sword attack to somebody else, or should I just try to take him out with?
No, you took him out. You already took him out, so you're good. And Leviticus, you're on the grenade launcher controls as a rat.
Right. So I'm gonna.
You would be firing a grenade into melee at this point.
Don't do that.
That's okay by me. This guy's gonna get one right in the chest.
You have a high probability of also damaging this woman.
On my control. Okay, so I can't shoot. Give me a second here. Let me think about this.
While you're doing that, Zell's going to take a shot at him.
Right. I think the only other thing that I can do here is to do the laser pistol. But go ahead and let's roll out Zell.
Yeah, Zell hits with a raise, and
Might
she
be
manages to shake him.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to use my laser pistol instead.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you completely miss.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to bet you that.
That hits.
Okay. Damage of the laser pistol is 2d6 plus 1. That's 2d6 plus 1 is 7.
He completely ignores the hit.
Oh, that's just rude.
New turn. All right, Kuva, you're up first.
Can I reach this person by foot?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go into melee with her, and I'll swing my impact hammer.
Okay, so you charge in. You're flanking. That gives you a +1 to hit. That's terrible.
It is. I'm going to just keep it that way.
Okay.
And we're not doing
Click
so well.
is not going to risk hitting either of you with the lightning cannon, so he's holding action right now. Quinlan.
It's generous.
All right, I'm going to try and bolt, hopefully.
That will hit, but not enough damage to do any harm. She's ricocheting off this guy. He's pretty heavily armored. The woman swings at him and misses. The gunwolf closes into melee.
Let's keep an eye on that one.
Stomp him.
So he is going to use his assault claws. And he is going to hit.
Cool.
Hitting.
Take it home.
Oof.
Take it home.
And that is enough. He finishes this guy off. And the woman looks at you all and says, "Who are you people? And more importantly, does any of you know how to dispel magic?"
I reply, squeak, 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 squeak.
And that is where we will end it for right now.
Let's begin now.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music.
What up?
Background music is Jason Shaw's Ice Cold. Savage Worlds is the property of Pinnacle Entertainment. RIFTS is the property of Pinnacle Entertainment and Palladium Games. Some adventure concepts credit the Oct group on MeWe and Google+. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press.
Oh, for sure.